So B2C, your marketing is also your sales.
Right.
Nobody is reaching out to the customer to, kind of sell endpoint. In some industries, yes, but most of the cases, your marketing is what you sell.
So hello everyone, welcome to another insightful session. Today we have Nitanshi Gupta, and going to ask some marketing related questions for us, for our marketing students who are with us with Digital Vidya. So Nitanshi, when was the first time you experienced the power of digital marketing, and how did you feel about digital marketing then?
Right. So, see, my career, I didn't start as a marketer to tell everyone. I was actually into trading, and then I changed several careers, and in one finally I joined as marketing was always my passion and something I always wanted to do. I have done my MBA in marketing and finance, so I started with finance actually, but then I changed careers and I always wanted to come back to marketing. So when I joined as a firm, at that time, it is almost, I'm talking about 12, 13 years back, then I started my journey as a core marketer. So I had joined, and that time digital marketing was just taking off. Like, though it was there, persistent, and people were exploring different ways, even paid advertisement and all were had started, but it was not like something which like it was, especially in B2B space where I am. Is still digital marketing has started just percolating in. So I remember when I joined, we had one content which was which we used to publish every year. This was a bank in which I've worked, and they used to forecast their 5 years this thing. So there was very important. This was used to be a yearly 5-year forecast. A lot of work used to go in, and we used to share it. We used to publish copies. So those physical copies we used to email to our clients. And not email, sorry, we used to mail to our clients, and even on email we used to send to our distribution list, whichever was there. But still, I mean, obviously it was not something which was kind of getting a lot of attention. Only to a very limited masses we were able to. And I remember then it just came as an idea that we really need to scale this up, because this takes in so much effort and we are not getting the right kind of ROI. What do we do? So what we did was we broke this down into several pieces, that same report. So we did an executive summary, we did an infographic, so created a lot of content around it, and digital content also. And then what we started doing was we started putting it on our website just as infographic, which became very catchy. Then we ran a paid ad around this, and we were giving the infographic free, but to download the content, people had to fill a form. It became a gated content, and then we got a lot of leads, very, very good leads, and some very good business out of it. So, and it was first time when I saw that through this there are various means now and various channels through which you can start getting. So very nascent stage that time, not a lot of people were doing it, but we tried something new and it led to a lot of good results. So yeah.
Right. So in B2B space, how much do you think the relevance of digital marketing going to be there, since you started very early and at that time this digital marketing was coming along? There was not many tools like Facebook and all of that was coming, right? It all started after 11 and we started seeing social media campaigns. So how was different than back in that time now?
Yeah, see, I think digital marketing has become a need today. It's not something which you can accept, not accept. And in fact, B2B have realized it. They are a little short in the way, at some point in time, the B2B companies are going to realize that their strategies cannot be very, very different than B2C. Because as a buyer, as a B2C buyer also, I make most of my decisions online, right? If I have to purchase something, if I have to buy, if I have to, search about something, I take all those decisions online, be it my son's admission or, buying something, it is all online. I think that even I was just recently reading a study which said that 70% of the B2B buyers, like for all B2B buyers, 70% of the journey finishes online. And that is when they come back to then decide like, okay, these are the 3 people I am going to reach out to or finalize. So that's where we, like, B2B companies will realize that the buyers are same, their personas are same, whether they are B2C or B2B people. These are people who are taking decisions, and the and the way they buy, whether it is for the company or they're buying for themselves, it is going to be very, very digital oriented. So have already realized, but I think the aggressiveness is still a little less than what B2C does. Obviously, and that's a different thing, right? You are directly selling to the customer. You need a lot of personalization, quick decision making, and the results come immediately. So you invest a lot, but I think B2B companies are moving there, and I'm sure they are doing a lot of investment. I've seen a sea change in their investments in marketing over the years.
Right. So do you have any aha moments in your digital marketing journey when it comes to B2B till now?
Yeah, my aha moment I would say, I always, as a marketer, I always thought that how much the look and feel, or the websites would, I did not understand the importance of websites. Yes, I mean, especially in B2B, you can put out the information, but it's not like people are buying there, right?
Right.
So how would it contribute to your sales? How will it lead to directly any kind of revenue? I always thought that. And then it was just my luck that I ended up in a team which was rebranding a website. And I was involved in end-to-end process where the whole redesign happened and all. It was a great experience. And the so while I learned a lot, this was new for me. The difference was that when this website came up, the way we had done a lot of A/B testing, and we had tested a lot of assets, whether form should be placed here, not there, what kind of asset, how should be the menu. So as I was saying that until then, even I was very, how much of this would lead to any kind of substantial result, what was there. So over the next 6 months, what we saw was continuous month on month, there was an increase in traffic because we had reorganized our SEOs, reorganized our trend. So the drop rate of the website went down drastically. And the amount of visitors which we thought a lot of technical things to come up with our SEO strategy, even how the navigation would be. So the drop rate came down. And then there were a lot of, like, even our gated content which used to be there from where you used to get our leads, they were hidden somewhere earlier in the inside section and all. We were not promoting it on our website and all. So we started promoting it, putting the assets in different places, CTA, we did pop-ups and all. And suddenly there was this difference which I saw, resulting in meaningful leads, resulting in some good revenue. In fact, the website itself, which used to be very, very dead, where people used to come for some downloading content and all, or just reading blogs and all, but it became very different, the way we started getting a lot of leads through it. In fact, customers, we realized that our customers, before taking the decision on whether they should shortlist us or not, were always going on the website and reading stuff. So it was not that it was not important. So we got the feedback that the new website looks great. We are able to get what we want from there. So there was some immense good feedback, and it was a kind of aha moment, saying that we realized the importance of doing this digital marketing, and why it is very important in the whole customer journey.
Right. So it was a user experience which really changed the game of the bringing traffic, or is it like you experience a lot of things or make changes with just like you said, call to action buttons and having some navigation on certain end? What was the important factor at that time when you decided that this is what I really want on my website? This is what really going to work. So what was it?
Yeah, so I think there were, user experience was a first priority, because B2B buyers, especially the kind of personas we were looking at, we were talking about CEOs, CXOs, and some, institutional investors we were talking about. So these are very people who do not have time. They will not go on your website and search 10 times as to what they want. They want quick answers, and exactly what they're looking for. Do you resonate with what they are thinking or not? So to bring that, so that user experience was our first priority, that once somebody lands on the website, there their experience should be as smooth as possible. They should be able to get what they want with immediate gratification should be there, because people
Right.
don't have time today. They
Uh,
they will leave just like this, and that is what we realized. So we improve the load time of the web pages, we improve the navigation, as I said, as to where they can find what they're looking for. And for that we also did as I said, we did a lot of research, like what are the top searches for our website, what are we known for, what most people visit us for, and depending on that we graded everything and put the design together. So it was that research actually led to some very good insights, which we then translated into our design and placements. And
Right. So I can completely agree. When a marketer completely goes into website development, he realizes that what exactly the thing you can be over there. And yes, it's a lot of work which even give you great result if you put it once. It's a big task at once, but yeah, give us a great result in future. Yeah. So according to you, what kind of conventional marketing techniques are still relevant today? Just like newspaper and TV were there, but since
Mhm.
digital marketing is coming into the picture and you work so much into the B2B industry, do you think these are still valuable?
See, I would not say, see, bro, brand building, even like the traditional channels are not gone. You should not discount them completely, thinking that everything is digital. Yes, your customer take their journey online to decide. That's a separate thing. But for brand building and all, I think traditional channels are still relevant, completely discount, especially like for B2B, you will see events, in-person events. Like in Corona times, what we saw, we completely switched to virtual, and then you like, I think most of us would have received so many invites to events and all virtual events. But how many virtual events you can actually do? Can you network on these virtual events? No.
No.
So there are limitations to it. Yes, the scalability is great with virtual events, and some things are meant for virtual platforms only. But when we talk about networking, when we talk about the personal connect, which is very important in B2B space, you need to have that personal connect with your clients, with your prospects. In those times, I think traditional channels play a huge role, and I'm still a firm believer of, in-person events, in fact for brand building, using the traditional channels and all. And in fact in B2B or B2C, I mean, talent marketing is picking up a lot, so you
Right.
can't ignore it. Yes, that is one part is, I mean, posting jobs online and trying to get people from online channels, but people believe a little more on what they see physically, and in especially on something which is more national, see a newspaper and all, an ad obviously helps build your brand and credibility much
Right.
better.
Right. So I think it's still in B2B or B2C. If I talk about many of the conventional channels are still it's mostly very costly compared to what we have in the digital space. And I've seen many B2B companies generally put this route much better, preferred one. Just like we have a tool called LinkedIn, which is used too much in the industry. So did you have any similar experience where you used any tool like this to connect for your B2B marketing? Any tool?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. So see, yes, from a social media perspective and channel perspective, B2B is different from B2C. That's very clear.
Hmm.
Because you need to find where your customer is sitting and in what thought process. Yes, our customers might be on Facebook and Instagram also, but would they like to see us there? No. I mean, they do not. They are not indulging in that mindset when they are on the other platform. So yes, I mean, I have used a lot of tools. In fact, I am an marketing automation expert. So basically I've used tools across, and the channels like LinkedIn and all play a great role there.
Hmm.
In fact, LinkedIn offers other routes to kind of reach out to your prospects, like LinkedIn Navigator and all, which
Navigation.
play a very important role for B2B companies, because you can't just always think about uh, doing a connection on LinkedIn and just
Right.
posting. That would help to a certain extent, but to the last leg of getting people on board and getting the lead or striking a conversation, I think there are tools like LinkedIn Navigator and all, which are very, very helpful. So yes, I mean, marketing world today is full of tools. What I was saying was that there are more than 10K tools in the market. So not just from a channel perspective, like LinkedIn is there for channel perspective, but there are other tools which will give you a lot of insights on your customer journey. So for example, there's Sixth Sense, there are tools which will give you Zoom info and all, which will help you enrich the data and all. And for B2B marketer, in fact, even for B2C, the data enrichment and having the correct data is very, very important. So tools, yes, I mean, we have, I think, last published by was like in 2022, we had 10K tools, and small and big companies are all there. So marketer should, I think, uh, today it is important as a marketer to know these tools and which are good, which will fit your portfolio. All that has become very, very important.
Do you have any favorite tool of yours?
Oh, I have many. I have many. So I am exploring these days, like these tools like Visible is there, which gives you
Right.
very good attribution.
Right.
It's an attribution tool which helps you find out which channels are impacting your customer journey, so you can build an attribution model. And I think it's very much in demand, given that performance team are coming in. And now earlier companies were not investing that heavily in data insights and all, but these days it's become so prevalent. In fact, companies do have a whole team, performance marketing team, and tools also. So I was attending a SaaS event where almost 10 companies presented just these tools, which are like dashboard and attribution model tools and all. So it's not Visible is obviously a bigger brand, but there are smaller companies which will give you even better insights and all. And they are just started, but they are bringing up such good technology that it's amazing.
Right. Okay. So how different do you think the customer journey in digital marketing in B2B and compared to B2C? And since you have worked so much into the marketing automation thing, I mean, from email to every other tool, we have marketing automation now. How do you leverage all of this nowadays when compared to B2B and B2C?
See, what I was mentioning earlier, the B2C, obviously the difference is that um, so B2C, your marketing is also your sales.
Right.
Nobody is reaching out to the customer to, kind of sell endpoint. In some industries, yes, but most of the cases, your marketing is what you sell, right? What you market, what you are, even your website, it's for conversion. Your email is for conversion, your ads are for conversion, so everything is conversion based. In B2B, that's the difference. The goal is completely different. You are trying for conversion, it's not direct conversion. It will not that you send an email today and the customer will put their query tomorrow. May not be, may or may not be, I mean, high chances may not be, but it is bringing that recall value for the customer, that whenever they think of that need, your brand name should be there on the top. And when they go online and search for their need, your brand should come on the top. Your When they're trying to search a content which is related to the issue, your content should come on the top. And when they go to the social media and try to connect some relevant companies which are kind of trying to solve their problem, then your content or your posts should come on the top. So it is I think B2C, this is one point which is common, which is that you need to think about in a very holistic manner. Digital marketing doesn't act in silos. So you can't just send emails and expect some kind of result. It has to be your paid, your website, your email marketing, your, in fact, offline channels. They all need to sync together. So it is an era of integrated marketing. And from all these channels, you should try to build a two-way communication. It shouldn't be one way. You should try and see what your customers. So it may be a direct interaction where a customer comes back and tells what they want, or it could be a assessed interaction where you try and understand what your customer's psyche is, where, in what stage of their buying journey they are. Those kind of assessments you can do and come up. So I think that is also required in B2C, but B2C is, as I said, in B2B, we are supporting our sales. So whatever we grab, we get leads, we get insights, it's all to support our sales team,
Right.
because they will do the last done in a different manner, because they are directly impacting the revenue.
Right. So, do you think there are some mistakes people do when they are leveraging digital marketing? According to you, what do you think they are the mistakes they are making right now?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest mistakes which many companies are doing is over investing in tools, and uh, so tools are good. There's so many options which are available, and be it big or small, what I've seen is, I mean, it has been my experience across, especially if you are a big firm, you kind of over invest because there's marketing budget, and so you want to show the ROI. But the problem with having too much in your portfolio is becomes very it becomes an issue, because there are new tools coming every day, but the moment you onboard them, you have to go back and look at your legacy tools as well. How do they sit in your portfolio? So I think, and that is where your ROI starts getting impacted, because you put in the budget, but are you getting something out of it is becomes a question.
Hmm.
So I mean, this is something which I'm actually doing a research on right now, that what is the right way to buy the marketing technology, where should you invest, when should you invest, and all that. So I think martech is one area which is going to boom like anything, and everybody is going to adopt. They're already adopting, in fact. But at the same time, it is important that they take a look back and understand what would fit the portfolio, what would not, and that every tool, every strategy, and every channel should have one simple goal. And whatever your marketing goal is, whether it is brand building, whether it's lead generation, or it could be multiple goals tied to one singular organization goal.
Right. So I think for most of the people, I think selecting a tool is something which is like it's already available for 14 days trial to 30 days trial, and they go for it. They see some result and they start investing money over there.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
in longer time period, when they do their marketing analytics, they understand that the amount of money they were putting over here, it can be easily reduced by going over to other tool. And then people keep on switching to one tool to another, and they end up not actually selecting the right one, and they lose out a lot of money over there getting.
Yeah, absolutely, that's
Yeah.
right.
So, what do you recommend for new companies which is coming up into digital marketing space? They should be having their digital marketing inside of the company, or they should be going to outsource it?
See, it depends. It depends on the industry which you are at, right? And the kind of customer you're going to target. So if you are a B2C company, and you are a startup, then for like things like email marketing and all, you could look inside. But the
Mhm.
challenge here is when you're looking at scale, when you're looking at doing a lot of personalization, and is in fact, with your paid marketing, you want to run numerous campaigns which are more personalized. It's very difficult to get that talent in house, and you need to get the right person who should be able to manage it rightly, all the campaigns. Sometimes becomes very difficult. So I think in those cases, better to outsource, unless you have, and you could still have somebody in house to manage the goals of what, whether you go to the agencies, but then agencies have their own agenda and they have their own goals in mind. But to whether they, I mean, you could have a person inside, but you should outsource those. I mean, most cases I would suggest that there are parts of especially paid marketing and all, it should be outsourced, unless you are able to get the right people in the company and you are able to invest in them. There are others where directly the channels which are more close to the customer, I think you should always keep inside, because they are directly tangibly related to your brand. And if you outsource them, then you are running a huge risk in how this would play out in the market, whether how much any agency or outside platform would kind of invest in your own brand, or be very careful with it. So for channels like events and all, I don't believe that we should outsource too much. Content also, to some extent, yes, you should outsource, because you can't scale, you can't have 30-40 people sitting in the company writing different content every day. If you have a huge portfolio, those cases best to outsource, because you get new ideas, fresh writing, fresh thought process, which it's very difficult to get in house. So it should be part, depends on what the goal is, and wherever the brand equity is at stake, you should keep that in house, you should not go outside. But wherever there is scalability is a thing, and for small companies very difficult to bring scale, you can't bring too many people, then it should be better to outsource.
Right. So now I'm just coming to my favorite question. What do you think most of the marketers bet heavily on online advertisement as part of their digital marketing strategy? Do you think that the resource allocation, including budget distribution between online and SEO, is justified? Since I think you work with, I think, various tools in paid as well as organic. How does
Yeah.
it try that?
See, paid is good. It's not, I never discount paid as a channel, because sometimes, yes, it's difficult to get, we do get instant results with that. And sometimes when you are trying to get to a goal, paid can play an important role. But at the same time, I think most companies, and it is true for many companies, that SEO is highly underinvested, and because it doesn't give immediate results. So but I've seen companies who have, from day one invested in SEO. Not just invested means they're very clear with their goal, they're very clear with their content. So SEO just doesn't mean putting the right keywords in place or the right title and going into the background and putting, trying to align with Google's algorithm. No, it's not that. I think when you try to align your website, your content, your thought process, um, as per your customer persona, as per your own goal on what you're trying to sell, your messaging, if you align everything, your SEO will fall in place. And I've always seen that companies which, try to do this from day one, they are able to crack the SEO in a much shorter time and with much more continuity. So SEO you can be ranked like number 2 or number 3 or number 1 for some time, but these rankings keep changing and they are very volatile. So if you want to remain there, then this is something where you need a lot of clarity and investment, but I think it leads to great results. So if you keep investing there and you have a clear thought process, SEO can be much better than paid marketing, because most companies get huge traffic. I mean, traffic can come and it's not that difficult, but relevant traffic, we are talking about relevant traffic. There's a huge difference between getting traffic and relevant traffic. So your measurement as a marketer should be whether you're getting the relevant traffic or not, and when you are able to convert it. So if it is convertible, then it's a better equity to you. If it is not convertible, again, it's useless even if people are coming in. So that I think SEO is highly underinvested, mostly because it's long term, but companies should invest in that a lot.
But I mean, I hope you have explored Chat GPT, and similarly, Bard was also coming by Google. And I did a query on Bard. What I realized that Bard given me result on top, right? There was website which was listed, but it was on top was giving me result. At that time, I realized that if Bard is coming into the picture by Google, most of the content will be visible on top. The solution you are going to looking for, you're not going on a website. You're just getting it over there. Do you think in that case SEO is going to be relevant in future?
Yeah. In fact, see, I still feel that people will still want to. Yes, I mean, you would want to go to Bard or ChatGPT and want a complete answer to what you're looking for. But there are limitations to it. It might become better and better with time, but I still strongly believe that uh, the search engines will not lose their sheen, because people want variety. They you want to you might go to ChatGPT to get a complete answer on something, but if you want to explore, that is not the place. You can't explore on ChatGPT. So you might ask 10 questions, but you need to have that knowledge to be able to ask that question also. So that you need your search engines, you need variety, you want to hear about different brands. ChatGPT might give you 10, say if I go today and ask, what are the top marketing tools, then ChatGPT might give me a list. But can I feel that brand on ChatGPT? No. So
No.
to get to that brand, I'll still have to go to the search engine. I'll still have to go to the website and feel it. And until then, I don't think so I can, make my decision. So I feel that search engines are there to stay, and SEO is the most relevant, very, very relevant investments for companies. And you never know, like these, the chat GPT and all will be deriving answers also what people think about your brand, right? Somebody might have input something, because of that it is giving that answer. So to get that input, to get into that input also, you need to be there in the market with your website and be a relevant website on top.
Right. So do you think if I some way able to integrate Chat GPT and the way marketing automations are used, some way you're connecting your audience in such a way that you're giving results, giving them answers, and
Mhm.
Chat GPT coming into the picture, maybe Bard or any other tool coming into the picture, this will even ease out the journey for the user, or does it going to also impact just like automation? I used to do automation from year 2015, email marketing automation. Before that, I do
Yeah.
remember that I have to keep on sending emails manually. Like I have to send it manually every week for
I
nurture
know.
them and then do all of the stuff. And all of a sudden, the moment marketing automation, email automation started coming up, I just need to create a flow, and after that, just keep on sending the emails. It does
Yes.
impacted many jobs in the email marketing thing. Do you think there's some impact going to be just like this coming Chat GPT into the picture, or just like tools like this?
Yeah. See, I think chat tools, these AI tools which are giving out information, will become another channel for you, right? Just like we have other marketing channels, Chat GPT and Bard will also become a channel.
Mm,
And you would want your names to appear when it's more like Quora, right? Quora has pre-written questions for which people answer.
right.
But this one doesn't have pre, it goes back and tries to search on what was relevant and bring back to you. So many companies today, market on Quora also, right? And they go to that relevant question and push their own content there and say,
Mm,
why don't you look at this? People where, and I think B2C, it's very, very prevalent, I have seen. So I think these tools will become one more channel going forward. Companies would want to appear in the searches which are related to their products, services, and all, and they would want to come in the answers. But how that would play out, I'm sure there are ways to impact that. And uh, but I am still not very happy with the fact that your neutrality of these answers might get impacted. Today they are neutral, right? Nobody is impacting the answer. But tomorrow, if people, it starts getting impacted, becomes like any other channel like YouTube and all, where 10 influencers are trying to tell you the same
mm,
thing, right? And but it's not neutral, right? It's not that they're keeping your best interest in mind, it's more about what they're trying to sell. So yes, I mean, till these AI tools are neutral, it's a different thing. But for marketers, I think everybody would try to turn them into another one more channel where they can push their content and their brand in the forefront.
right. I think for me, Chat GPT was something the moment I explored it. I wrote almost 10 to 20 articles in a month.
Yeah.
That's, uh,
But I still feel that innovation would get see but these tools will give you what is there in the market. So if you are trying to produce, see, it's again, it's a question of scalability. So when we are trying to scale, these tools are very, very helpful. But when you are trying to innovate, this is not helpful. Yes, you can do your base research and get information and all that. But when a writer writes on their own, while writing itself, they get 10 ideas. I'm a firm believer in that. I we had this discussion in our company as well, where we have a good content team which is there, and somebody was saying, I can now put my LinkedIn post through ChatGPT, and maybe we can scale and put more blogs through ChatGPT. And the person who writes the content said that, don't say that, it's like taking our jobs out. I said that cannot happen. If you're It's more like, marketing, as you said, email marketers had to change when the automation came in. So earlier you needed 10 email marketers, now you needed just one. And but people have to evolve with time. Any industry, anywhere, if and especially marketing, I think you need to completely, evolve and learn a lot and be on top of your game all the time, because this is an industry which is evolving at a very very fast pace, and if you're not learning what is there in the market, you will be left out. It is more like any other industry, but this is one which has become more cutthroat and evolving very fast because it's become very tech linked to tech completely.
Right.
So one needs to evolve. So I guess maybe tomorrow even your writers would use chat gpt for their base research, but write more innovative content. So it it would become like that, my gut feeling says.
Right. So, I mean, I completely agree with this. That can be used as a scalability, but putting that human touch is something which my
Yeah.
writers can only do. I can't just completely rely on the tools like these.
And
Mm.
experiences, I mean, as a person you go through a lot of experiences, so
Yeah.
it's not just about innovation and out of the box thinking, it is also about your experiences which these tools are not having. You are having because you are talking to your customer every day, you're looking at the database every day. So ChatGPT is not connected with your database, it's not connected with your channels. it
Mm.
it might tell you something which is there in the market, but to get that touch of what your customer is thinking, what your database is saying, what your interactions are saying, that touch is something very, very different. So maybe when that happens, that you have a AI tool which is reading into everything and able to translate it into something. Okay, this is the top content which will sell in the market right now. I'll write an article on it. Then maybe yes, that might be more impactful. I still feel people are not something which are replaceable by these AI tools.
Right. Since we are talking about technology, what do you think is the role of technology in marketing in today's world? And would you like to share any good example where technology is efficiently leveraged into digital marketing?
So technology will play, as I said, very, very important role, and marketing as one function. In fact, all functions, HR,
Mhm.
finance today, if you see, finance a little less, but HR and all have become tech. I mean, they are every function is getting more and more aligned to tech. But for marketing, it's true that it has become our bread and butter today, technology. So because without that, you're not reaching the right places where customer is searching. So tech is needed. So tech is needed for a lot of things. Every way where you are trying to reach the customer, you need a technology platform to be able to do that in a relevant fashion. Even in person events, if you see, you need to record them, you need to put out a video. So you need a platform even for that. So you cannot deny that. My one of the tools which I've I mean, you would know Marketo and also
Right.
I'm a Marketo expert and I love the tool two bits. Like there is so much to explore, and not just from email marketing. People think Marketo is just email marketing tool, email automation tool, but that's not the case. I have been working for last 2 3 years on using it in many many different ways. So we built our life cycles. We have tagged it with how the sales team will look at the data, pushing the data in very very different fashion, putting the insights into it, and we've aligned integrated Marketo with so many other tools which we use today. So it's a and I started in Marketo when I it was almost 8 to 9 years back, where we were only using it for just life cycle and email marketing. But today I see it is being used for so many other functions, and we are still exploring. There are tens and thousands of other things which I know today that I can do with this. So it's amazing how these tools are coming up, and uh, people are customizing. In fact, I'm a big fan of Salesforce too. The way the platform has evolved over a period of time, and the kind of functionalities and innovations they are doing in that side is amazing. So I'm a big fan of these two tools. And yes, there are others. I mean, there's a whole plethora of other tools.
And yeah, there are plenty of tools which are available. And if I try to explore one of them every day, it's going to take me completely 2 to 3 years to explore each of them. And yes, I use
Yeah.
Marketo. I was working with an e-commerce company earlier. And
Mhm.
there are a number of things which I can do using Marketo, but I was using it for the email marketing tool as a first tool, right?
Yeah.
So, do you recommend today's fresher should consider getting into digital marketing for building their career? And if they are, what's your advice for those newbies?
Yeah. See, I would definitely recommend. I'm a fan of marketing from my college days. The moment I had to apply, and I had to take up my first job as I mean, it ended up being in a finance domain, but I always wanted to come. And over 3 4 years I struggled to kind of come back to the domain, because it's difficult to get in those time. It was a little difficult. Marketing was not that, big teams were not there, so not so many jobs in marketing, or they were more sales oriented.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend. Marketing is one area where you get to learn new things every day, and that is one thing I like the most, because there's so much innovation happening. And not but let's if you even look at, not just big companies like Salesforce, Adobe, and all. I'm not just talking about them. There's smaller companies trying to take, like, smaller piece of marketing and do so much of innovation in that. It's amazing. As a marketer, you learn that every day. And the other part of marketing, which I love the most, is creativity. You can think out of the box. Other functions, you can't think out of the box that much. But this is one function where you can think out of the box and solve big problems just like this. So yeah, marketing is something which I do. If you have a passion for it, and you're looking to you are on the creative side and still are pursuing normal job, and I think marketing is the right place for you. But again, as I said, when you come into marketing today, you need a curious mind to be inside, and be ready to learn. Because as I said, you need to adapt with times. This is a very, very fast changing area, unlike other functions like finance. If you've learned accounting, then it is accounting. You might need a refresher here and there, but accounting would remain accounting. But
Right.
with marketing, that's the thing. Every day something new is happening. Today chat gpt has come. Tomorrow bard will do some more innovations and do something new. And there are other companies obviously not lagging behind. So yeah, you need to be a lifelong learner as a marketer if you are coming in. And then think innovation is something which should be also, be it any side of marketing, be you are in offline channels, online channels, and all. You need to accept, and that the today whatever is the status quo would definitely change tomorrow. So if you are not forward looking, then you will be left behind. So I have always followed that whatever has come new, I would be the first one to learn and move forward. So if you do that, I think that would be your fundamental to all your success. So come
Right.
up with the open mind. That's all.
Right. So that's what even I like about my marketing job, that it's not monotonous. Every day
Yeah.
I have to come that there was some new Facebook update or a Google
Yeah.
update, and you have to be in sync with all of them. Otherwise, you'll
Yes.
not be able to derive result. But okay. So is there any skill you will look forward to if you wanted to hire a digital marketer? What do you think that skill will be?
I think for me, see, I don't look at technical skills in
Hmm.
marketers, because the moment technical skill is something which people can acquire.
Right.
I think that I interview a lot of marketers, but when I either the three key questions which I ask them is, what do you do in a day? How much time do you spend on reading and learning? I think that's the first question which I ask them. Second is adaptability. With changing times, can you adapt? Because then only you can innovate. If you can't accept the time has changed, then it's very difficult to adapt. So adaptability is one. And then creativity. What is their creativity quotient? So these three things, I think, from technical perspective, I might ask questions, but then they are very, very limited. Because even as my own, if I look at my own journey, I have learned a lot, and it has just come my way, and I have decided that no, I'll this is something which I don't know true today, but I learn it. So I believe if people are ready to learn, they can just learn anything and adapt, and then perform very well. So that's, I think these are the things which I look into in marketers.
Right. So how do you stay updated with the latest trend in digital marketing? Since you might not be working with all the small tools every day by yourself, how do you get updated about these trends?
See, I read a lot. That is one thing. And read as in not just articles and all, but it's through all the channels. So I make sure that at least I spend some time uh, reading blogs, or I follow certain marketers also, and where I'll get their emails, and then if I like some topic, I'll try to explore.
Is there any you would like to name them or any website as such?
Yes, I mean there are a lot of websites. In fact, on LinkedIn, I'm there on a lot of groups, and then there is Slack.
Mm,
Slack, there are a lot of
right.
these groups in which I am. Then there are a lot of discussions which I try to follow the thread and try to learn from there. Then there is, I think Neil is there, a few others. So it's not coming on top of my head, but there are. So that is one way of keeping yourself updated, but the other way is also questioning what is there, and going out and searching on your own also. So whenever I am faced with a problem, I try to go online and search on my own, or try to find my own answers by first putting my thought process, and then trying to see what is there in the market, what people are doing, and then going on these groups. Very, very helpful. LinkedIn groups, Slack groups, very, very helpful, because learning from people, just reading articles, again you're trying to fall prey to what other people are propagating and their thought process. But if you discuss with other people and have a good network, having a good network of people, you learn like anything. You might chat for 5 minutes, but you learn much more than going to 10 other websites and reading. So build a good network around yourself. And the last is, I try to update myself. There are so for example, attribution model, when first that came, I heard about it. I was inquisitive as what it is. Yes, I mean, you understand the meaning of attribution, what an attribution model is, but then how people are doing it and all. So go out, just take up a course. I mean, there's so much content online today that you can do a course in very, very not a very high cost, and still learn about things. So be inquisitive and learn in, then it is very easy to then be on top of things.
Right. And how do you think these trends will go in 2020 and beyond for digital marketing?
See, digital marketing is going to, I think it's already highly adapted. That is, there's no question about it. B2B, B2C, there's no area where digital marketing is not adapted today. Governments are adopting, then where else, where can you look? Like companies would have obviously adopted. The I think the trends where it will be different, as I said, as you were mentioning, ChatGPT, like AI, machine learning, and all, they will become very, very prevalent. But so that is, I think, a given, and everybody is talking about it already. That data, technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, how do you use to scale your operations, bring in insights and actionable insights, what we are talking about. But one thing which I think with digital marketing, which will always remain, is instinct of people. That should not go. I'm still a huge believer in using instinct in your digital marketing. Yes, your insights might say something, data might be a little skewed, where your dashboards say something different, but always look at your instincts and decide basis that. I mean, that should also be a part of your decision making process. You should not throw that out just because your tool is telling something. So believe in your own experiences as well, and mix it with your digital marketing tools and the data insights and all which you're getting, and then apply it to get your marketing results.
Right. So I've taken many interviews, and yes, we all go with instinct, but this is the first time I'm hearing somebody emphasizing on instinct much, because yes, I do believe that sometimes data says a different story, but yeah, with instinct, know that this will give you a good value going forward. And you just
Yes.
mentioned that. Okay. So Nitanshi, if you were given a power to make one change into digital marketing industry today, what would that be?
See, I think one is neutrality of things. I think that is where most times it's many efforts are getting lost. And I mean, it kind of adds clutter to the customer experience, because as a marketer, for me, customer experience should be at the top. But then um, when we look at, say, for example, in B2C, if you look at where if you have 10 influencers trying to talk about one brand, then one brand takes over, whereas the other brand suffers because of that. If you go to Amazon, some sponsored ones will come on the top, but your brand, because you're not sponsoring it. So I think my one worry with things is, I think at some point in time, while all this is going on, I mean, I'm just forecasting this, but I think ethics in marketing would kind of flow in, and especially digital marketing, because I think in India we are kind of, I think this discussion has already been there, net neutrality and all in US and all, but India always with advertising also, ethics was never, the top of the priority list. But with digital marketing, I think that is one thing. It is kind of skewing the game to certain top spots, to certain brands, which kind of takes the sheen or the capacity from the other brands. And then it's all it has become all about, what what, how should I say it, it has all become what the narrative is. And it is not just, I'm not just talking about brands, I'm also talking about, um even in like political and this thing, everything is all become narrative of what your brand narrative is, and how much you're able to influence it with money, with, people around. So I think ethics and marketing is something which would, at some point in time, after a few years, I hope it happens that somewhere it gets aligned to your digital marketing, and in fact overall marketing also, especially in India too, where, I think this is one area people should invest in.
Right. So neutrality is something which you're talking about. Even from my end, what I do for this ethic is that I put some frequency capping on my paid campaigns, where I know I don't need to show my ad thrice a day to my user, because I know somewhere I'm already bugging them putting these many ads. So what I do from my side is put a frequency capping on my advertisement and try to show them ad a
Yes.
relevant time only. I know that this is something which is going to be a good thing for them. Great. So coming to my last question, would you like to share a few words about digital marketing education we are imparting in Digital Vidya?
Yeah, I think digital marketing courses are going to be very relevant, because with, even if you're doing an MBA, digital marketing is still is a very, very small part of, your overall experience. And they teach you a lot of other things which are relevant. I don't discount any of those, but having very specific, doing very specific courses, doing very related and tight courses also helps you to focus and learn much more than smaller amount of time than compared to when you're doing a 2-year course and all. So I think the content is great. So it is relevant and timely. That is very, very important. So I think it's a great initiative.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nitanshi, for giving your time and sharing your experience with us. And I hope it will be as much as disposable for me, just like students of Digital Vidya will be able to take a value from this. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.